The villains from the original saga marked a turning point, and now, some of the best have become part of the reboot, with some gaining powers that have allowed them to compete against Ben's Omnitrix. This leaves us wondering who is the best of them all, so we will take into account 3 factors: the most powerful state shown in the saga, their weakest or most vulnerable state, and your opinion. Since this isn't the definitive ranking, will there be a second part? I'd better keep quiet for a month and let's get started. Hello, very good to everyone. I am Ben Tennyson and welcome to the month Cold 10,000 on the Cold channel. 10,000 the Incursions. In terms of power, we saw that they were quite weak. In the reboot, they worked as a kind of plumbers who were in charge of protecting the galaxy. The worst version we could have of these aliens was when they confused Ben with Vilcax. Their excuse was that since he had the Omnitrix, he was Vilcax. But they were so dumb that they judged him and just sent him to the null void. We saw their best version when they apologized to Ben, and believe me, that's something really important, since even Azimuth himself knew them. X is a character who has changed a lot in the reboot, being an antagonist who fits into anything. X is that villain you really need anywhere. And in the reboot, he dedicated himself to obtaining several of the most powerful objects in the saga. One of the most important were the Titan Gauntlets.
Listen carefully, these are the Titan Gauntlets. They contain the power to move mountains and turn them back into the dust they came from.
These gauntlets can increase the owner's power by 100 times. So you can imagine how insanely overpowered X is now. We saw his weakest version in the 2nd season, where X was almost killed. X had arrived late to one of the most dangerous and powerful rituals this mage has. Let me tell you, every 100 years, X's body and magic are revitalized.
Existence continues. In this plane, every 100 years he needs to activate the Eye of Wotan and give life to a tracker.
Though it may not seem so, it's a guardian. Dr. Ánimo is a character that, if it were up to me, I would put in first place. His best version could be questionable, since there's this combined version that we can even see in his future. But even so, I think we saw his best version in Aminomorphy. After stealing the Omnitrix's DNA and being betrayed by Vilcax, he decided to inject it into himself.
Let me tell you something. All this time I've been experimenting on animals, and I should have focused on one thing.
As strange as it may seem, Dr. Ánimo managed to master the DNA of Apoplexion, giving him tremendous strength and showing us RAD for the first time in the reboot. Now his weakest version is found when we discover his past. And the thing is, everything Dr. Ánimo has tried to show throughout the reboot has been for one simple reason: to continue his father's legacy and make him proud.
The best veterinarian who has ever walked this earth.
All my life I've worked to continue my father's legacy, the spirit that life has.
I've never seen the characters or the reboot like this before. Like it or not, they add important things to the Ben 10 saga. Ben 10,000, who would have thought? But the final enemy of the reboot was an evil Ben. Whether justified or not, that's up to each person's interpretation. We saw his worst moment when we learned about his past. A sad past in which, because of Vilcax, he had lost Grandpa Max and Gwen. It was Vilcax. It was always Vilcax. A picture is worth 1,000 words. I don't remember ever seeing an alien cry, much less like this. He conveys his terrible suffering, anger, sadness. All these feelings would drive him to madness. Ben 10,000 had lost everything, and he wouldn't let the squid, after taking their families, also keep the omnibus. So, in a desperate attempt to destroy it, he would activate his most powerful transformation, Alien X, an alien capable of facing anyone, the Ben Tennysons of the multiverse. This Ben 10,000 had no compassion. He traveled from multiverse to multiverse. He took the Omnitrix from each of its bearers, who could either hand it over or die trying to protect it. Not even an alternate Ben Tennyson from the reboot or an alternate Ben Tennyson from Ben 10 Omniverse could defeat him, and the greatness of his power led him to obtain 11 Omnitrixes.
You'd think I'd be used to it by now, but...
Something happens with the power of the Celestials in the reboot. It never fully develops. For Ben 10,000, there were 2 aliens who could put up a fight against him. The first was Frio, from Ben 10 and Alien X, the most badass alien in the whole saga. Who else could go toe-to-toe with a Celestial alien in a one-on-one? The other was Rat, from the reboot, an alien so unpredictable that you never know what his next move will be. We all know how the reboot ended, right? Well, this would have been the real way the reboot should have ended. I'll leave you this video so you can really find out what happened. Vilcax takes first place in this ranking in the reboot, and just like in all the sagas, he always holds a privileged spot as a villain. The squid is obsessed with getting the power of the Omnitrix, which, let me tell you, in the reboot,
He got it, and now...
well, actually it was the Antitrix, but it was the same. Vilcax managed to obtain an extremely dangerous power, the DNA of a Celestial. This was quite complex and interesting. The squid had sent the necessary data for Kevin to build the Antitrix, in which a power was hidden that could only be unlocked with the Omnitrix key, which Ben had. Thanks to this, he managed to obtain a power that completely changed his form. Vilcax's appearance and size began to change. A red celestial DNA covered his body. Neither Kevin's diamond-modded version nor Ben's most powerful transformation up to that point could stand up to him. Now, his power, although incredible, never reached its true potential. What we do know is that his most vulnerable point was due to this. Vilcax in the past had been left incomplete at the end of the first season of the reboot. An old and decrepit squid arrives on Earth to teach Ben how to use his new alien, called Gax.
Now do you know what can be achieved when such brute force is mixed with a lot of precision and discipline?
Wow, it turns out, let me tell you, this was Vilcax, or, well, his half. He ended up in this form because of his master, Asmode, who as punishment for using the Omnitrix to try to destroy the universe, modified the Omnitrix to trap half of his power. Vilcax is the best villain in the reboot. He always finds a way to come back. With a pretty good backstory, I would dare to say he's one of the best in the whole saga. So soon we'll have an original versus reboot villain. I'm really looking forward to doing it, and I think it's going to be one of the most interesting videos. If you help motivate me, I'd appreciate it. I hope Ecuador beat Qatar. If not, I won't have celebrated and we'll have more time for videos. I'm Frio10mil, and I send a big greeting to these people. Don't forget that with me, it'll be until next time. Goodbye.